What's up, y'all? Okay, so I'm taking a deliverance class in my church, right? One of the most interesting things I've learned so far is that unforgiveness is a major hindrance to our deliverance. Our inability and unwillingness to forgive the people who have hurt us keeps us bound. As we journey from Egypt to Eden, from bondage to freedom, that rhymed, we cannot come into the fullness of that liberty if we're still harboring unforgiveness in our hearts. I'm going to be talking about this and more in the upcoming Untied Fast. Make sure you sign up by clicking the link below or head to www.staybeautiful.com and click the Untied Fast tab to join us. For the women who have joined, I've started praying for and over you already. You are going to break free and stay free in Jesus' name. I hope you're ready to become untied. All right, you ready to get into today's video? Come on in here, child. Let's get this thing started.
Time to get over. Thinking, maybe one last try. Don't you get lost in nostalgia?
First things first, unforgiveness is not of God. Anything we partake of that is sinful gives the enemy legal ground and legal right to torment and oppress us. While it may be difficult to forgive, God requires it for your own good and for your own protection. Forgiveness isn't you saying that what was done to you was right. It's you saying, I release myself from the bondage associated with unforgiveness. The Bible is clear about the commandment to forgive. Mark 11:25 says, and whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. How can we expect God to forgive us for all the ways we have and continue to disobey him if we won't forgive those who've hurt us? In Ephesians 4:32 and Colossians 3:13, it's clear that we are to be kind to one another, bear with one another, and forgive one another. Why? Because Christ is kind to, bears with, and forgives us. Y'all, when we take inventory of all the things we've done that were completely against the commandments of God, and we meditate on the fact that death should have been our portion according to Romans 6:23, but Jesus' sacrifice absorbed that penalty like a bounty quicker picker-upper, we should be moved to forgive. We've received salvation from eternal death. There's nothing another human can do to me that's so horrendous that I can't offer forgiveness to them when I remember the fact that I'm still alive because God, through Jesus, has forgiven me. Now, I want to be sensitive to those who have been victims of abuse and trauma. I've never dealt with those, especially in a sexual sense. I'm not saying that forgiveness will come easily. For many of you, it will be a process, sometimes a very long one. What I am saying is that it is a command that we get to a point where what was done to us does not weigh as much as what's been done for us. I encourage you to find someone who you can be open and honest with, one who is willing and able to help handle the weight you're carrying. Don't try to go through that alone, and don't let it fester. Healing for your heart and soul are available. I encourage you to find your safe place and commit to the process of healing. It may hurt, but it's definitely going to be worth it once you come out. And also, remember this. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. God will vindicate you. You can't get the person back better than God can, so why not let him handle your dirty work? You just stay connected to him, stay under his covering, keep your eyes on him, and watch him do what he promised you he'll do. I pray you find solace in the fact that what was done to you is not hidden from God. Your only job is to forgive. Let God take care of the rest. Forgiveness is probably the most important part on our journey back to Eden. To relive what was done to us, to meditate on what went wrong, to make up in our minds that we cannot and will not move forward until we get an apology, to secretly wish that they get what's coming to them, keeps us in bondage. It's also witchcraft, but that's another post for another day. When we don't allow ourselves to thrive because we're holding on to past pain, we give the enemy legal right to torment us, allowing him to keep us enslaved and keep us under his control. Do you want to be a puppet for the enemy? I ain't think so. If you're gonna be free, you have to forgive the person who broke your heart, because until you do, you will be chained to them. Break free. We live in a society full of imperfect people. As we continue to live, people will continue to wrong and hurt us. Just know we are God's daughters, and he doesn't take well to having his beloved trampled underfoot, okay? If necessary, he will be the one to vindicate. And I say if necessary because we aren't always without fault. Sometimes we are at fault for the end of the relationship, and God pumped the brakes to work on us. Ask me how I know. In the same way that people will continue to wrong and hurt us, we will also continue to wrong and hurt others. If God reveals an area of your life that you need help or healing in, take some time in complete singleness, and let him work on that area of your life. What happens when we don't allow God the space and opportunity to make us whole? We continue in cycles of dysfunction. In my personal life, and I'm speaking this as of today, as in I'm still processing through this now. If I don't let God deal with my insecurities and my identity, I'll keep hopping into relationships where I feel like I need to have sex with a man in order to keep him. Dysfunctional. And I know for a lot of you, having to take a break from relationships is like a death sentence, but I urge you to do it. If not, you'll either continue to break or allow other people to break your heart. Some men are broken and show it when they say they don't want relationship, but are still willing to welcome intimate and sexual companionship. To me, that's a sign of brokenness, something that needs to be taken before the Lord. So watch out for men who will tell you that they don't want relationship but still engage you like they do. There's something in him that needs healing. A broken man is not a DIY project, sis. Offer him up to the Lord. Connect him with some strong brothers who can help him through that season. But if you're attracted to him, chances are it won't turn out well for y'all if you try to be the one to walk him through that broken season. Just remember, we've all got something we need help and healing in. So take that into consideration before you begin to point fingers and pass blame. Victors don't pass blame. They own up to their faults and move forward from them. Victors also know that they've got to stay suited up and ready for battle because they have a very real enemy who seeks to devour them as soon as they let their guard down. You know what they say, stay ready so you never have to get ready. Next week, we're going to discuss developing plans of attack for those moments when the enemy tries to take you out. He won't win over you if I have anything to do with it. Meet me back here next week for your battle plans, cool? Oh, and before I go, since this video was all about forgiveness, make sure you forgive yourself too. Sure, you may have slipped. Sure, you may have fallen. But God's grace is so much bigger than any slip or fall you may find yourself recovering from. I love you, sis, but God loves you more. Remember that. I'll see you next week. Until then, stay beautiful.
Maybe one last try, don't you get lost in nostalgia.